So, hey Aquarius, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for whenever you find it. It's not time specific. Technically speaking, it's not exactly sign specific either, so you can watch this for sun, moon, and rising signs. So make sure you check out your sun, moon, and rising sign to get the full picture. And there are readings out there. Usually I do longer period readings. There's a spring reading, a yearly reading. This is a 3-card reading, and I just see what's coming up, and I try to make it a little more compact and simple for you to process. 4 of Pentacles, and there's the King of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles, and we also got, this is kind of the second bottom of the deck. Kind of split it like this. So there's the Death card and there's the Ace of Pentacles. So let's unpack this. Very straightforward, not too many cards, not too many things. So the past energy is an energy where you kind of achieved a lot. That's the 4 of Pentacles, right? And when I say the 4 of Pentacles is kind of an untypical card because it is one of the lower arcana cards, but there's one guy here, he's wearing a crown, right? He's kind of sitting on a throne, so he has achieved some sort of mid-milestone, right? So he didn't went the entire way, because this is the King of Pentacles who went the entire way. So you got kind of both. You're showing up as the King of Pentacles who is wrapping something up. There's the Death card here, and there is also the Ace of Pentacles. So I would almost say that you close a developmental cycle, you close a chapter, and you're beginning a new chapter. And this beginning of the new chapter might feel a little heavy because you're leaving something out behind. But think about like this. You're showing up in the past as the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles, that's pretty much referring to the chakra system, right? So the 7 chakra system. You got the crown, you got the heart chakra, you got the sacral, and the, what's that? You got the 2 lowest chakras. I kind of effed up. Okay, so you got the 2 lowest chakras, you got the heart chakra, and you got the crown chakra. What is missing is the solar plexus, kind of a sense of security, a sense of feeling at home, right? That is kind of missing in this 4 of Pentacles guy. Then there's the throat chakra missing and the third eye. So connection, a feeling of belonging, a feeling of security, of feeling at home, and speaking your truth. That was missing. At least when we take this 4 of Pentacles for the past and connect it with the chakra system, right? You kind of completed yourself. And when you complete something, so you made a developmental jump. When you think about, and this is 2026, I can't do short-term readings in 2026 because 2026 is such a seismic shift where the old system is going down and the new system is coming in. This is a kind of, it's really a very interesting time, and you see it whenever you watch the news. There's chaos and turmoil, but through that turmoil, the new system is arising. Even if it looks sometimes a little grim and, don't lose hope. It's going to happen. The next 20-25 years are going to be really, really good and a very good phase for humanity. But there are a few things that, consciousness of humanity needs to learn, needs to shake off. So let's just take your little journey in the last 9 or 10 years. What have you learned in the last 9 or 10 years? And you have learned it. So there is mastership. You went all the way from the Four of Pentacles, which is kind of the little King of Pentacles, to the actual King of Pentacles. And making such a big, developmental thing happen. So you learned so much, you achieved so much. Think about second grade elementary school. So what do you do if you learn everything there is to learn in second grade elementary school? What do? You go to third grade elementary school, right? So that was you in pretty much coming away from first grade, right there, entering second grade elementary school, right? This is you at the end of second grade elementary school. You totally graduated. You got this. You learned everything there is to learn in that particular school, in that particular set of things to learn, right? Like in second grade elementary school. And what do? What does happen if you have learned everything in second grade elementary school? Second grade elementary school dies, so to speak. Metaphorically speaking, of course, hopefully nobody dies, right? But second grade elementary school, if you went in as the Four of Pentacles and you came out as the King of Pentacles, you learned everything there is to learn in terms of Pentacles energy, right? So you completed that lecture. So the lecture is gone. Second grade is history. Right, you cannot stay in second grade forever. Think about a second grader staying in second grade and kind of teaching but that is not his job, right? The second grader who graduated from elementary school, second grade, needs to move on. And you moving on, that is depicted here with the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is completion. There's a heaviness to it. Why? Because you feel kind of attached to that which is over. But if you move on, that's the second bottom of the deck here, there is more for you. There's a new beginning. And you might not be there yet, but you are getting there. So this combination of the Ten of Wands, which is the last few steps, right? The old is you already graduated, right? So it needs to go. Why would you stay in second grade? Why would you learn the same lesson over and over? You graduated, so you need to move on. You don't feel like moving on, but if you do, and you do, because there's the Ten of Wands, something sweet is awaiting you. So you just have to trust the process and you have to look forward to it, right? And let's just do a second clarifier. Come out of your shell, right? Maybe that lesson, the last lesson that you took, was pretty heavy. Maybe you fought very hard to get into this King of Pentacles position. This heaviness needs to go, and there needs to be justice, and there needs to be justice for your achievements, justice in the sense that you get a new lease on life. Ten of Pentacles is here as well. So it really looks pretty good. You just have to trust the universe, right? And you just have to trust that you're going to master the third grade just as well as you mastered the second grade. But it is no reason to stay in third grade and in second grade. What do I want to tell you with this? When you learn something, you basically have outgrown that lecture. If you truly learned it, you don't need to repeat that lecture. You have to move on. And that means leaving something behind that you might have had while you were learning what you needed to learn. But now you're moving on from this, right? What are you willing to have fun with? Not you. It looks like here with the Death card and there's a heaviness to it. You kind of show up here as the wounded warrior you know? So it kind of began, right? There's the 10 of Pentacles here and the 10 of Wands. So you're going to completion and you're getting something out of it. So it was not in vain. There's a heaviness, there was an optimistic beginning, and then at the end, achieving your goal, achieving your success, learning what you wanted to learn, but you took a beating for it. There was some heaviness to it, and this heaviness needs to end. There's the Death card. You're finishing it off, and you're going into your completion, and the 10 of Pentacles is clarifying the 10 of Wands. At the same time, there's Justice and the Ace of Pentacles. So it's going forward, but it's a new chapter, it's a new class. So this chapter is not so much about suffering for what you want or suffering for your passion in this case even, but what do you want to have fun with? So passion in the sense not of suffering for something, but passion in the sense of having fun, having joy with something. You mastered it, now you can play with it. So the heaviness needs to go. And sometimes if the heaviness lasts for quite a while, we're kind of used to that heaviness and we're afraid of, what comes next. Maybe it's even heavier, but it's not. It's lighter. There's much more joy and lightheartedness. So love yourself enough. You truly deserve your own love. By all means, to love yourself. Love yourself enough to trust the universe, trust your past, trust the next chapter that is waiting for you. Nothing is really lost, right? Maybe you lost a job, maybe you lost something, right? There is some mastership, but at the same time, there's a loss with the Death card. You're getting something out of it, skill, maybe you're getting something out of it materialistically, but you're leaving something behind, something is over. And the new beginning is very promising, but make sure to not make it about stubbornness and hyper-focused. And, it's not about suffering for something and trying to be the best, perfectionism, but having fun with it. Just doing your best, showing up in your life, do what you can, but that's all you can do. And you deserve happiness, you deserve joy and lightheartedness in your life. And there's the Justice card, right? With the Ace of Pentacles. Give yourself more credit. You're doing the best you can. Cut yourself some slack. Well done. So even in failure, even if there's a loss, even if you're leaving something behind, job, career, material stuff, maybe, maybe a good position that was very desirable, but maybe it had a toll on you. Maybe it was very stressful. Maybe it was very toxic. Maybe you had toxic people connected to this. You're leaving that behind and you're leaving it for something better. And trusting in that is the great challenge right now. So do that, right? Try to do it. And the way you do it is, that's a choice, right? That's a choice. You do this by meditating, right? Breath work. 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out. I say this again and again. It's super important. Do it every day and it really makes a difference. 5 seconds in, 10 seconds breathing out. You can do 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, whatever you can, but really push out the breath at the end, right? Make the out breath 2 times the in breath. Breathing out longer than you're breathing in, right? That's very important. Then you're releasing negativity. Then you do some meditation. And if you can do 15 minutes breath work and 15 minutes of meditation, half an hour if you have the time, then you're really transforming your consciousness. So number 18, many truths. Okay, an important decision is to be made and you are worried that you might make the wrong one. There are several choices, but none offers you a guarantee, which is the right one. The truth is there. There are no right or wrong options. The truth is there are no right or wrong options. One is not necessarily better than the other. What you decide is irrelevant compared to why you decided, which would give you greater fulfillment, which is likely to bring greater joy. Let go of what you think you should do and take a leap of faith. Don't fear the unknown, for it can be full of exciting possibilities. Remember, it is better to have tried and failed than never to have tried. Many successful people will tell you that they failed so many times before they succeeded. Yet they tried and tried again. Give yourself the best chance of success by choosing that which you love. Asking the question is as important as receiving the answer. Why are you doing what you're doing is the big question here. And with the King of Pentacles, kind of came from the Four of Pentacles. It was all about Pentacles energy, so very down to earth, practicality, Pluto and Capricorn energy, right? That's what we had from 2008 till the last year, or 2024, I guess. Now we're in, Pluto is in Aquarius, which is a completely different thing, a completely different frequency. So don't do it for other people, don't do it for recognition, don't do it because it looks good on your CV. Do it because it brings you peace and joy and happiness every day, right? It allows you to have a good life. That is your choice to make. And I would ask you or advise you to choose happiness over power. Is that the choice here? Let me know in the comments. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. And there are the 2026 readings, the yearly readings, and there are the spring readings. Check these out and hopefully see you next time. Ciao.